Welcome to Paperweights, the podcast where two self-proclaimed gym rats and shooting enthusiasts delve into the world of literature with a sprinkle of humor. Although their biceps could crush a walnut, don't let that intimidate you. They also have a nerdy side. Mike and Brandon have a voracious appetite for reading, particularly in the fantasy genre, and they want to share their passion with you. So grab your protein shake and your favorite novel and join us for a humorous and insightful journey into the world of books with Paperweights.
Welcome back to another episode of Paperweights. I'm your host, Brandon.
And Justin.
And today we will be covering the first half of Red Rising. Hey, we got the same book.
Yeah.
Steal mine and clone it.
Yep.
Yeah, so the first 25 chapters we're going to cover. If you haven't read the first 25 chapters, you might want to turn this off and then go read it and then come back. We'll still be here, unless the internet goes down. Hopefully it comes back up. Otherwise, I don't know, chaos might ensue. We'll live in the Stone Age again. In that case, I hope you're prepared to fight, everything. So, So first things first, this podcast is sponsored by Mudcat Whiskers. They are a Louisiana small business that specializes in men's grooming products, especially for your face and hair on your face. They have wash, conditioner, butter balm, oils, shaving creams. So if you don't want hair on your face, they've got shaving creams for that. He also sells candles and colognes. So I always like to support local and small businesses where I can. And whenever I met Nick, I found out that he is a school teacher. He teaches, I think he teaches robotics. And so he uses all of the profits from his Mudcat Whiskers. I think all, if not, oh well. Most, if not all, I believe it's all. The profits go to buying supplies for his class. So it's a good cause. Get the kids learning. And yeah, so head on over to mudcatwhiskers.com and you can use code Paperweights at checkout to save yourself 15%. If you are local in the Louisiana area and you like to go to Renaissance festivals, he has a booth set up in the Louisiana Renaissance Festival. Yeah, I don't even know how to describe where it's at. It's in a little bend in a market row. So if you're out that way, stop by and you can smell all of the scents that he has and pick the one that's right for you. Tell him that Paperweights sent you, and he'll probably say, "Oh, cool." But yeah, if you buy in person, you save on shipping. Buy online, you get a discount. But yeah. Oh, the year continues, Justin.
It is. It's fixing to be over.
Yes, I will be happy when it's over. And I look forward to next year having less lows. Another thing, I lost another thing. So like my grandmother passed away last Friday night. It's like a couple hours after I went and visited her. She wasn't awake whenever I visited her, but I spent some time with her, holding her hand, talking to her. And when I left in the morning, my dad called me and said that she passed away sometime later that night in her sleep. And the time he got the phone call was roughly 2.5 hours after I left. So, but yeah, so in 11 months, I've lost 3 grandparents, 2 pets, had surgery, and my wife was in a car accident. So
Oh, yeah. Good thing is it can't be repeated next year, so
Yes, I can't lose any more grandparents. I have no grandparents left to lose. So,
yeah. Same here. It's rough. So
but I mean, the two I lost earlier this year were 93, and this one
wow.
was 91. So, got some long living grandparents.
Yeah, bodes well for you.
Yeah, if that's my goal in life to live long, um, I hope I have a very adventurous life. I hope my brain stays intact and I'm able to have fun and recollect and all that good stuff late into the age.
Yeah, definitely. Hopefully you're not a slave on Mars. Segue.
Yeah.
So,
At
Brandon,
least not underground.
yeah. Unless you got anything else, it's
No.
kind of a
I
funny
was gonna ask
segue.
you if you had anything exciting.
Not really. Just getting ready for Thanksgiving. Give me a nice little break. Fun. See the parents and all that jazz.
Yeah. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish? Do y'all do a traditional Thanksgiving meal or
Yeah, it's pretty traditional. I'm not like the biggest fan of all the weird stuff, like the casseroles and shit. Honestly, it's the turkey because that's the only time I ever eat turkey. You know, uh, and turkey is not like the best, but it's kind of fun to eat it then. So, like,
then
I
do
don't do
y'all
like turkey sandwiches or anything like that. I just kind of eat it at Thanksgiving. That's it.
do you eat leftovers?
Hmm. Yeah.
How do y'all prepare it? Do y'all roast it, bake it, fry it?
My dad bakes it.
Okay.
Pretty simple, but good. How do you do it?
Uh, we do it all sorts of different ways. The last few times I've had Thanksgiving at the house, which it's been a couple of years because last year we went on a cruise during Thanksgiving. The year before, my wife was in Chicago, so I went actually, our friend Matt came and picked me up, and I went over to his family's house for Thanksgiving. But the two Thanksgivings before that, Matt came over and my wife's friend came over, and we fried a turkey. So
Cool.
um, came out really delicious. My wife doesn't eat turkey, but she eats that turkey, and she also eats leftovers, and not just once, but multiple times. So kudos to that fried turkey. Uh, but if
Yeah.
you want to fry a turkey, uh,
Be careful.
research how to do it
Yeah.
and be very careful and make sure that turkey is 100% thawed and dry on the outside before you stick it in to the oil.
Yes, because I've seen some horror stories on that.
Yes. We don't want to burn anything down or burn anybody. So yeah, I highly recommend it. It's good. The skin comes out real crispy and tasty, depending on how you brine it or inject it. Um, but yeah, I think this year my mom is getting a turkey from somewhere, so we're not necessarily cooking our own.
Nice.
And but as far as my favorite dish, I mean, turkey's cool. Um, I like sweet potato dishes.
Okay.
I think that's my favorite. And then any of the desserts, any and all the desserts. My mom actually makes these uh, cranberry chocolate chip pecan muffins, I think.
Hmm.
They're really good. Like, and she makes
Sounds
them
like
in mini, so like I can eat them in one bite, and I could probably eat 10 of them.
yeah. We make my grandma's pecan pie, which is pretty good.
Nice.
We don't really do pumpkin pie or anything like that. We mainly do pecan and some like sometimes some lemon pie.
My wife, she makes a pecan cake, Now the recipe has kind of changed a few times. Like it's been slightly different a few years, but it's always good, whatever. And it's something that she grew up having during Thanksgiving. And like I think we the first year she made it, we devoured the entire thing on Thanksgiving, and there were only it was me, my wife, my daughter, Matt, and my wife's friend. And by the end of the day, there was no cake left.
Nice.
So,
Oh yeah.
but, but yeah, isolated on Mars. Horrible
Yeah.
segue now, but you know,
Yeah.
um,
So Brandon, so for the listeners, I have read the first book before, so I've only read this one. So going into the rest of the trilogy and beyond, if we decide to do that, I will be blind. But this one I read. I enjoyed it. It it's very much like, to me at least, like a very much a traditional YA like novel. So I'm curious how you kind of got to it and thought about it.
um, so I really enjoyed it. I found it easy to read. Like kind of, pages go by and I'm like, wait, I just read 30 pages. It doesn't feel like I read 30 pages.
Yeah.
Um, I can see influences of a lot of different dystopian books as well as other fantasy books. And I like that they kind of he Pierce kind of intertwines and leads them together, and it's not like a not necessarily compartmentalized. They flow into one thing and they become their own thing.
Mhm.
So it's not none of them are like one for one copies of any specific devices or plots of any of the other books I've read.
Yeah. I mean, tropes aren't bad, but it's kind of funny. I'm curious how you feel after reading like Throne of Glass and this. I'm like, yeah, they're like kind of the same thing. And then like think about like Hunger Games and like they're all kind of the same, but just and then like divergent with all the weird house names. This
Yes.
has like Harry Potter stuff. Uh, there's like a Sorting Hat basically.
Yeah, the like I wrote here, um, and I mean, if I talk about it now, I mean, I don't have that many notes for
Yeah,
this reading, but like the whole draft chapter was very reminiscent of like the Sorting Hat. Like the first Proctor basically makes him play Harry Potter. Um,
yeah.
then we have some names of characters are kind of nods to Harry Potter, like Antonio Severus and House Minerva.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Um,
I think they're also what Roman shit because everything's Roman.
yeah, most of it anyway. I don't know if Darrow is
No,
Darrow.
well, no, that's why his name's. They're like, it's gonna be a weird name for gold. Um,
Yeah, so the Reds are not Roman, but like the
the
Golds.
golds are, like Phobos and all that shit. Like when we get to the game or whatever. But yeah, yeah, I enjoyed it. It's kind of funny how short the chapters are after going from other books. It's like, oh yeah, they're like 5 pages or something. Or
Yeah,
if that, it's kind of crazy.
it was
I was like,
real easy for me to go, oh, hey, I got a few minutes in between things. Let me grab this book and make some progress in it. And then I'm like, okay, 6 minutes go by and I've read a chapter. Like, oh, okay, cool.
yeah. Yeah, so that was kind of fun. Because I was like, you're like, oh, like 26, 25 chapters. Jesus. I'm like, oh, wait, no, it's not that bad.
Yeah, I was worried at first too. It's like, oh man, sign us up for 200 pages.
Yeah. But yeah, it was fun getting back to it because I still remember stuff, kind of. It's probably been like 2 years since I read it. So like I remember kind of stuff. Like I remember it as like wife died and stuff, but you could probably tell that was gonna happen really early. And I remembered like the central conceit of the first part and stuff. But we can get into it if you don't got
Yeah,
anything
that's
else.
that's let's summarize the parts. So
Okay.
we read part one and part two fully, and part three we're a little ways into. So we will summarize part one, talk about it, summarize part two, talk about it, then summarize part three, up to the point we're at, and talk about that. And then I can make some predictions for the rest of the
End of the
book.
book. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, we start off in part one, Slave. We're introduced to our main character, Darrow, and this book is entirely from his perspective. It's first person. Um, and he is a red because the society, basically, as far as we know, society has been broken down in all these different colors. We know red's at the bottom, golds are at the top, and then like obsidian is like below gold, and they have like they're like bred for war or some shit. They all have different like basically roles to play in society. Like they have an entire like sex role of
Yeah,
courtesans
pinks
and
are
stuff. The
like
pinks,
sex
yeah,
sex slaves almost.
yeah, and Darrow is a hell diver, which basically their entire purpose is they live underground because they think for as far as they know that Mars is uninhabitable and it's getting terraformed, and they're getting this helium-3 gas to basically help the terraforming process. And they're all split into different little like societies, and they're pitted against each other like to get like goals of getting the most helium and stuff, even though it's rigged, as we find out later. So yeah, he's from Lycos. And basically, we see him do the hell diving stuff. We meet his wife Io. Meet like his brother and sister, Kieran, and I forgot his sister's another thing. She doesn't really matter that much, at least right now. His brother has a couple of kids and stuff, and basically, we get the sense of the like oppression that the Reds are underneath. They have like people above them always kind of like it's very dystopian. They he wins the laurel, but he gets screwed over because like they can't win. We learn that the gravity on Mars is different from Earth, so they have like weak bones and stuff, and they get they get sentenced to death. They get sentenced from by hanging, and they have to like drag on their legs to break their necks, which is pretty fucked up. Um, Basically, everything comes to a head when he and his wife Io basically sneak out and go have sex in the hydroponics lab under the trees and stuff, and they get caught and they get whipped in a public whipping in which his wife sings the song of rebellion. Might be the song of angry men from Les Mis. We don't know. Um, and she gets executed. We meet like the governor of Mars or whatever, and there is very sad, obviously. He like grabs her and buries the body, which gets him killed, but he's like his like uncle, his drunk uncle, like is like, "Hi, you're gonna die," and then he dies. Yeah, end of the book.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it ended with him being buried. That the first part. Can't
He gets
remember where it cut off.
he gets killed and then he gets like buried. He wakes up when he's buried.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. They ended that part as he's buried,
Yeah.
but his uncle winks
Yes.
at him. He's like, oh, hey. Um.
Because
Yeah. I was. I don't. I really enjoyed part one. Like it reminded. Like there was obviously like um they didn't have a forbidden love, but them sneaking off into the garden reminded me of 1984
uh
whenever they would sneak off into the fields and then come back and they weren't supposed to be out there. I think they were reading books out there too. Um, but just that sense of, hey, we're doing something we're not supposed to.
know what this reminded me of?
What?
Uh, Braveheart. because he even has like the flower like pressed or whatever,
Okay.
and then he also goes and kills all the Englishmen. Um, so yeah, but yeah, I can also see 1984 too.
Yeah. I also got vibes of Ender's Game.
Mm.
Kind kind of a little bit. Like it seemed that the Helldivers and the quest for the Laurel
Mm.
kind of had that squad. Like it was almost a squad mentality. Um, wouldn't necessarily call them families.
Yeah,
Um, yeah, but
yeah, and also later in the book they kind of do. They're in like weird schools and shit.
yeah. I really did like as far as how the book works. I like like the word conventions that they use sometimes, like scan crew, claw drill. They're
Glory
very the what
Gory damned. Oh,
gory damn.
their
Well,
curse
that
curse
was
words are
different,
funny.
but yeah.
I know, yeah,
Um, but like I like that gory is like the high form of bloody.
yeah,
Um, but like this, it's interesting how he takes two words and that we understand, but he puts them together in a way where it's like, oh yeah, that is one word for that profession or object, and it's very descriptive for us readers who aren't native to the world of the book, and it allows us to understand it.
yeah,
And, it's interesting that he capitalizes this the second word in those words. Um,
yeah. I guess there's a couple things I should point out. One, we know that this is in our future because there's Rome and America and shit. Two, that it becomes relevant. We know that Darrow is a hell diver and he has like really good hands and fingers, which he puts to good use later. Um, yeah, but yeah, I enjoyed it. Did you get the twist of like that Mars? Did you call that, or were you just kind of like, oh, I guess he's dead? All right, weird. What were you thinking when he died?
um, as in, like, sorry. Um,
Because there's a couple of twists pretty early on in this book. One that like Mars is terraformed already, and like they're being slaves. We get that well next part, but you kind of and then like that he like supposedly dies at the end of it. Where you like you probably where were you thinking when he was killed?
I kind of knew, like, I felt like I was like, yeah, this guy isn't dead. Like, it's set up too much for him to be too big of a character, and the fact that he is like still thinking is like, oh, like it set it up. It wasn't too much of a surprise for me. Like, oh my God. And then,
Yeah,
but once I turned the page and it's Lazarus, and I'm like, oh, well,
yeah,
Lazarus, the title of Lazarus gives it away if you
yeah.
know who Lazarus is. Um, and then but also this
Gives it away a little
reborn,
bit. Yeah, yeah,
like not only Lazarus, but reborn is like, oh, okay. Let's see what's gonna go back. But we'll I have other thoughts
yeah,
in the second part, but like some of those things that happen in the second part, I did not predict was going to happen. But I was like, hey, that's cool.
yeah, yeah.
Um,
We can get to part two unless you got anything else. I think
yeah,
it's a good setup, even though I mean, we'll see how much like the Reds have in store for the rest of this novel, or if that's like a book two or three thing. Because I don't know how long he's gonna be in the like testing grounds or whatever.
yeah. Um, I'll yeah, we'll get to that. There are some other things in part one that I enjoy, like uh to go along with the other words, like burner is like a cigarette, thumper is like a taser or a baton, and then scorcher is gun. And they also introduced like prejudice and racial slurs. So like the grays are called tin pots. So fun stuff.
Good
Fun
old,
subjugation and
yeah, yeah. Also reminded me a little bit of Gurren Lagann, if anyone out there has seen that anime. They start off.
heard of it, but I don't think I've watched it.
It's very good. Just the first little part of it, they're kind of like underground digging shit. Um,
I
I don't
do find it weird, and we'll talk about it. Let's get to part
get to part
two.
two. Yeah, because all right. So part two, Reborn. So Darrow is not dead. Huzzah. We meet basically the resistance of the Reds. We get Dancer and the late Harmony. They go and tell him the truth of the world. They do the Morpheus. This is what the Matrix is scene, and they're like, "Hey, so like Mars has been terraformed for like 500 years. They're just keeping y'all as slaves to like pump out the helium. So yeah, y'all are low reds because that means you live underground. There's high reds that live on the surface. We're gonna like kill them from within, and we're gonna turn you into a gold boy." And he's like, "That's crazy." And they're like, "Yeah, well, we got this dude that can like genetically modify you in a magical way that we just kind of shrug off because it makes no sense. He makes ladies that have wings that can't fly. So basically, they like remake his body. Boop. It's pretty gnarly. He becomes a gold. They reinforce his skin and they do all this crazy shit. He becomes a gold. It takes a long time. He starts training. He's gonna go into the institute and kind of like be good enough to become like a Manchurian candidate later on. That's kind of like their plan. Uh, they do all that. Like he gets crazy powers, becomes super strong, becomes a gold and Adonis basically. And then he gets tested. He does like incredibly well. He does like suspiciously well.
He only misses
Uh,
what, one question?
Yeah, and like his like physical traits are really good. His nice little fingers are like even more nice. So they're like, whoa, that's crazy. Um, so then like, but he's they set him up as like a noble somehow. I will get into that because it doesn't really make much sense later in our discussion. They have him as like a son of these dead people or whatever. Uh, they go to the institute. He does meet like a lady on a horse. He learns how to ride a horse. The lady on a horse might be important later. Um, he goes to the draft, where basically they're like split up into like houses. Like there's basically in Gryffindor and all that shit. It's basically Harry Potter houses, except they're all like Roman gods, which are Greek gods, if you don't know. But gets into the House of Mars as their first pick. Their first pick in the draft, number 10. Pretty good. Um, he meets
Out of
his
a
love
hundred, right?
out of 1,000, I think.
Out of, so
Yeah,
each house has 100, right?
yeah,
And then there's 10 houses, so 1,000. Okay.
yeah. And then 50% of them get killed. Spoiler alert.
Mm.
Um, yeah, we meet his Hagrid, Fitchner, who's like, yeah, you little shits, I'm gonna kill you. Uh, and then we get the draft. It's pretty cool. He wants to be a peerless Scard because they're all the rest of them are like little like rich kids that never had the silver spoon in their mouth their entire lives. So they're like, you're gonna get tested, you bastards. It's like, man, I was a hell diver. I'm good. I almost got killed and driven insane by the pain of my body getting completely changed. So we're cool. Um, then basically he meets some of his classmates. We meet Cassius and Julian, who are twin brothers. Uh, we meet Antonia. We meet some other ones. I forget. We
Have you
probably
meet
meet
Titus yet?
We probably meet Titus. I don't know. Maybe not. Titus is a big dude. We'll see him in part three a lot. And then basically like cool, like we're all like numbered and it's very anime. We got like our power scaling going on. And
Dude,
and then
I was so confused at first when, so they were talking about you needed 5 bars or whatever, but then it was like above their names, it's like above his was -1. And then somebody else is -5, and she was the closest to him. And I'm like, what are these negative numbers meaning? And then I had to read like 2 more pages.
yeah, it's
And
basically
then it
the
was clicked. It was the number of questions they missed on the test.
yeah, that makes sense. I didn't clock that. I was just like, he's good. He's -1. All right, cool for him.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's very anime or video game, which is fun. Um, so then he gets like captured and sent into a death match where he fucking murks Julian. Like kills him real good. He's very sad about that for some reason. He was very gung ho about killing Reds, and he's really sad about killing Julian. So he's not quite a monster yet. Even though I guess I should mention throughout the entire process, his like psychology is changing. He's starting to like feel superior and all that stuff. So it was kind of interesting to see how don't don't look at the monster unless you become it or whatever. But yeah, he does that. He kills them, and it kind of like all he meets the rest of his classmates, and they're like House of Mars. Rawr. Let's do it. I'm gonna be #1.
I don't think that happens quite yet. I think that
Oh,
one ends with him.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. He like goes and kills it. He kills the dude, and he's like, all
Yeah,
right.
it ends with him cradling Julian.
Oh yeah, I skipped ahead a little bit.
Yeah, no, it's cool. It all runs together anyway. But
Yeah, but yeah,
um,
he gets to we get him to we get to see our main dude kill a child. Yay!
yeah, I mean it is sad because Julian is obviously he's like, you know, he's like the little the little kid that wants to be part of something and is like always around the badass people, innocent kind of, even though he's gold, it's like part of Darrow realizes that, all right, well, yeah, not all golds are shit. Um,
Yeah,
but
because
at this,
there's a million of them apparently,
yeah.
which is kind of
Um,
insane.
so I mean that's the sad part about that. Um, and of course, he's was kind of already becoming friends with uh
Yeah,
his
it's
brother Cassius. And so it's like, oh shit, well, I became friends with his brother, and then this guy's innocent, and he's like, hey, you have to let me kill you. I have to win. My parents are like, he's like, sorry,
mm,
dude, this is,
no.
how
Oh,
this is going.
we also meet a weird little emo boy named Severo, who may or may not be important. Meet him on the ship.
Is he like a savant too?
Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty smart and stuff.
He he'll become more important in the second half.
Yeah,
Spoiler alert.
when you get to part 3, is something that we can talk about with him.
Yeah,
But yeah,
he like goes on his own and kills wolves and shit. It's pretty cool.
yeah, he was that fourth faction
And
within House Mars.
it's also heavily implied that he was the guy that killed that like special dude that wasn't supposed to die.
Priam,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
Like who could have killed him? Oh, it's this weird little emo guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't
I mean,
understand with one of the points I was going to mention uh, was almost brought up in part one, but uh, I don't understand how for 500 years the lineages of the Reds live underground and still believe that they're preparing it for um, terraforming and for more humans to come and colonize. Because Darrow, when he was shown the cities, which is crazy, there's like thousands of cities, and each one is built on top of several mines.
yeah, it's like full planet. It's pretty cool. But yeah,
Yeah, it's like Coruscant, basically.
yeah,
And for that long, um, yeah, it's hard to believe that it's gone on that many hundreds of years and they not know that there hasn't been progress or that there's been progress.
yeah. I mean, I guess when you're all dying in like your 20s, it might not matter. Like you might find out and then die. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, they probably had like certain times where like they like, oh, you only have like 100 more years until it's done, and it's like, oh wait, no, the something happened with the atmosphere, and we need another 200 years. I don't know.
But also they're them being underground, they don't know how many years have passed. But
True.
also, are they referring to it as in Earth years or are they referring to it in Martian years? So,
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, a year on Mars is longer than a year on Earth. So,
Yeah. What I find kind of crazy is that there's reds on the above ground. Like, I wonder what they do. I guess they just clean up stuff.
yeah, I
Right,
mean, they're
right.
slaves.
Yeah. Well, it seems like everybody's a slave, except for the golds. And even kind of the golds. It's a bad system.
Yeah, I mean,
It seems like the obsidians are like the soul like the soldiers or whatever. And there's like greens, which are like healers or something.
that color, the
It's
color
very confusing.
classification it reminded me of Wheel of Time. The Aes Sedai almost like each
Yeah, but if
color has
like
its own role.
if like everybody, it reminded me of like Divergent shit like that.
That too.
why novels love like stratifying society in really weird ways. Um,
Yeah, Divergent had them divided by
like brain
character
type.
traits.
Yeah, character trait. Yeah,
Yeah, which was interesting.
because it seems like you're born. You get like did you understand like the sigil thing? Because like there's like a
No.
gold. He like gets a gold sigil or something. I don't know if that's like an implant or something. I don't know, but it seems like you're born whatever color you are, unless you get crazy body swapping surgery, which makes no sense.
Yeah, I don't
Hey,
know. I don't
I'll go
understand
with
this.
I'll go with it. It makes it how they just didn't find out that his DNA was a red, like because they have to have different DNA and genetic markers to be crazy, and there's no way the dude like sculpted his DNA to be different. I don't know.
I
It
don't know.
makes
I mean,
it
it
like it.
reminded me of like Deus Ex Machina or Cyberpunk 2077.
Hmm,
But
yeah,
like uh less electronical or electronic implants and more uh uh so less cybernetic implants and more biological implants.
yeah,
And so combine that with the Ivan Drago training montage from Rocky 4.
yeah,
And that's what you get like the whole carving chapter. That's what's happening there.
yeah. I mean, it's cool. It makes zero sense. I could go at that way because kind of have to for the book. I just think it would have been more believable if it was like, hey, we like found we grew this gold body or something, and we like implanted your brain into it instead of like remapping your entire body and then somehow changing your DNA because these people are like it's like Dune where they're really into like breeding programs, which would make sense that then they would have like really specific DNA markers, everything, which would just not hold up under inspection at all unless you like change out his DNA. And then like I was also like, it's not believable that there's just like this random gold, but I'm like, there's apparently a million of them, so I can take that back. Like that makes sense that you could have like a really small house. And it was like when everybody was, I was like, oh, there's like 1,000 of them or something. But no, there's millions of them. It also kind of like, did you get this? It kind of reminded me of in Conquest Born with the Braxoni, about how they're like set apart from the rest of their race and having to be all not have the decadence and all that shit to like seem superior to everybody.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, well, that's kind of fun.
I mean that
That trip.
more broader uh thing is like just racial superiority.
Yeah,
So
but
I mean
the way they were.
he's definitely trying to address or insert um current events, and I say current like past couple hundred years, past few centuries of things that have been going on. Um,
Yeah, it was mainly like the lack of like decadence and shit that reminded me of when Kind was born. They're just like, I'm not gonna take the lift because I have to be superior to everybody else and show them why. Blah blah blah. But yeah. So yeah, this was wild. Wild little sequence. Very much, it's like, hey, this is how we're gonna get through all the stuff so the book can happen. Um, so yeah, you got anything else on part two?
no.
All right, we can get to part three, gold. Chapter 20. Do I have to do that? I jumped the gun a little bit. He meets his classmates. They're all like sad because they just murdered people that they knew. And it's pretty messed up. Uh, there kind of comes to realize that it's like a culling tactic where like we cut the chaff from the wheat and we don't need the and if people like the elites die, then they weren't actually elite, which we found out that
Oh, before you go further, because it happened in the previous chapter where he kills Julian, but
Mhm.
it happened whenever he met what's his name? The son of Ares guy.
Dancer.
Dancer, yeah. For some reason I was thinking Bridger, but Dancer, so it happened with Dancer when he was like, um, which card did you get? And he's like, oh, it was this, but he ate the paper. And he
Yeah.
was like, oh yeah, it was this. And he's like, prove it. And he's like, because this one is this. And you said there was only one of each. But and then on this one, when he's in the room, he realized immediately, oh, we're all supposed to kill somebody. Like they paired us up and we get rid of half. He I don't believe I I don't believe he's that smart. Like there was nothing that developed his character enough to show me that he was that intelligent at problem solving and knowing like, oh, okay. I mean, especially when he met Dancer. Because like in part one, it seemed more of like essentially a country boy, a farm boy, a type guy. He just went to work, came home to his wife, and now he's thrust into basically civil war slash revenge uh, because his wife rebelled.
Yeah.
Not necessarily Civil War, but rebellion. There wasn't enough in part one for me to be led to believe that he was super intelligent and problem solving. And
Well, I mean, I think they get like brain enhancer shit when he was getting
when?
when he was getting rebuilt.
Okay, well,
Was that before he got rebuilt? I don't remember.
that would explain that can yeah, he did have his neuro stuff changed, I believe, when he was being rebuilt, so he was smarter after that. But he had just been unburied and met Dancer and then knew that the question he was being asked was a trick question.
Yeah,
And that wasn't necessarily believable at that point.
I could see that. I don't know. I didn't really clock that. I was just like, okay, yeah, sure.
Like
Well,
I did the same
I
thing. I
mean,
was like,
they did.
okay, sure, whatever.
Yeah, they just show him kind of thinking outside the box with like, I mean, a little bit more bravery or whatever than him doing like the little thing at the beginning where he's like trying to get the gas out of it and stuff. I don't know. I mean, he's not really shown to be that smart in this part. He just kind of goes with the flow, and he
Yeah,
apparently has a plan, so maybe he's getting smarter. But yeah, I don't really got much on that
that's
unless you.
so. Anyway, they
Yeah,
meeting get sorted into
yeah, they're the House of
houses.
Mars. We get the sad thing where Cassius is alive and he's looking for his brother, and he finds out that his brother's dead. He tries to suss out who killed him, but it doesn't work. We find out that um Priam got killed. He was like this special dude, and it seems pretty obvious it's pointing to Severo. Killed him. There's like basically like, do you want to be like the biggest, baddest dude? You gotta be Primus, which is like the leader of the house. And then they get taken to basically um a mock battleground where each house has its own kingdom, and we're gonna Lords of the Flight over here. They're like in the mountains and stuff each, and then like they have like a standard bearer, and they can like use the standard to like boop you and make people slaves. There's internal conflict because Titus, this like big jock dude, is wants to be leader. Dara wants to be leader, and Cassius wants to be leader, and Tony wants to be leader too. Democracy fails. Um,
Several fucks off to by himself to
yeah, Sever like, I'm gonna go kill some wolves. It's gonna
which
be
is
cool.
weird. Whenever that section was saying it was like, hey, we're divided into four factions now. They didn't talk about Severo at that point in time. Like he didn't write in
Yeah.
the book about Severo. I'm looking through it and like
Who was the
four.
fourth? Yeah.
There's he only mentioned three. Who's the fourth? What's the fourth? I don't understand this. Like,
Yeah, at the beginning I thought it was like, oh, him and Cassius are two different factions, even though they're working together.
yeah,
But
no.
that's no, that's not it. Yeah, we meet some more people. There's Quinn, who's just like this lady who seems pretty cool and maybe important. I don't remember. Um,
And that's Cassius's interest, right?
lady, yeah, yeah. Basically, their goal here is to like see their strategic thinking at work and grade them. Important, there's like a floating island where all the proctors watch down on them. Also important is that they're not supposed to kill everybody. They're like, it's because it'd be kind of pointless. They've already culled the class, and even if you're not a peerless guard, you can do other shit. So they're not supposed to kill people, but we see somebody die. Um, basically, the house completely fractures. Cassius, Darrow, and a lot of the lower drafted people are kind of like one thing. Um, here's a bunch of like infighting basically. Titus goes and attacks another tribe and like kind of fucks them up. But
He's
his people,
hassling what, House Minerva or
it's yeah, Cirrus, House Cirrus.
House series? Yeah.
Yeah. Um, yeah, he does a thing where he like puts a girl under like
That was brutal.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
cripples
that's
her and puts her under leaves and then has another girl scream that
yeah,
help, and so they rush out off of horses and trample over. That's some Ramsey Bolton shit.
yeah. Titus is a true monster.
Hey, that's true Ramsey Bolton shit right there.
Yeah, his people are starving. They don't have any fire or know how to make fire. So they're all like kind of shitting themselves and having dysentery and stuff, which is fun. But yeah, so Titus, but basically he's not able to breach the walls of House Sirius, so he's actually loses the war, even though he's gotten some slaves and stuff. Um, it's highly implied, if not stated, that Titus is raping the Golds, which is rough, raping the slaves that he conquered, which is bad news, and he'll hopefully get his comeuppance. Um, and then Dara's like, I got a plan, and he like sends Quinn to go talk to Antonia, but she gets captured, and then she gets beaten up and stuff. Cassius goes to like challenge Titus, and he gets beaten up. Uh, Important to know that the thing, the like standard can't make slaves of your own house. So he's able to come back. I guess he wanted Titus wanted him to report back to Darrow about what happened. And he's like, I got a plan. And he's like, yes, we're gonna go fuck him up, basically. That's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, the time frame, like so like the Civil War with Titus starts on day 8. And then like by this point at the end of the section, around at least day 20 or 25 or something like that. So there's several days. And they haven't even like branched out. So I wonder what's going on with the other houses in the Institute right now.
Yeah, there's like talk of some smoke, but there's no like anything crazy happen that they can see, obviously. Yeah, so we're gonna get some um yeah.
There was one section, one part like after he killed Julian and they were going back and everybody was like discussing or trying to like, hey, who killed who? And everybody's like, mm-mm, nope, not admitting this. Um, and sorry, Darrow almost does a Rand thing where he's like, every life is important and I kind of must remember each person.
Yeah.
Like, okay. Um,
Yeah,
but
he's like he sees the cruelty of Titus and some of the other ones, and he's like, "All right, I have the body, but I can't become. I have to be better than them." That type of deal, which is admirable. We'll
yeah,
see.
obvious this section, this war or game, whatever you want to call it, is very reminiscent of Battle Royale and um, Hunger Games, and like the dropping of the supply
Yeah,
at the beginning.
getting patrons. Yeah, very Hunger Games.
Yes. Um, I like the imagery of like the proctors coming down off their floating island on hover boots, essentially. And
Yeah,
uh, I think was it in X-Men? God, what was his name? The villain, the arcade villain that he was from another dimension.
Oh,
and he made them play in video, basically put them in video games.
Mojo Jojo? Or not Mojo.
No,
Mojo. Mojo
uh,
something.
is it just Mojo?
Yeah. Pretty sure.
Um,
He's the weird green dude.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He has like spider legs.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, he's pretty cool.
Yeah, he puts them. Yeah, he's not green. He's like yellowish. Um,
Yeah. Yellow green one.
yeah, he forces them into gladiatorial combat for his interdimensional TV show called Mojo Vision. Yeah, kind of reminds me of that.
Yeah. Except unlike the Hunger Games, it doesn't seem like it's not broadcast to the masses. It's just their kind of perverse um entertainment or whatever. Trying
Yeah,
to trying to get everybody to be hardcore.
yeah. I think it's obvious for the book and the plot that he didn't tell Cassius that he killed Julian. But the longer that goes on and the longer he doesn't say anything about it, the bigger the conflict between him and Cassius is going to become. Which is
Yeah.
unfortunate because they like each other. But I could totally see this series doing okay, he gets mad at him. They are at odds with each other for a while, but eventually team back up for whatever reason. Um, I could see that potentially happening in this series.
Oh yeah, and one thing I forgot to mention that was probably important is that he comes across a girl that is singing the song that his wife sang. Uh,
Oh
it
yeah,
was a gold.
that whole thing where they broadcast it.
Yeah. And then the Resistance actually broadcast it to like uncut basically to like the planet.
Yeah, they hijacked the Gold's feed and put the unedited version of it out. So there are more influenced people for the rebellion and resistance out there.
Yep.
So
Uh,
that's fun.
yeah. So
I will say, before before we get into any of my predictions for what's going to happen, and did you have anything left in
no, I
this?
think we did the most important stuff. Um part two is basically or part three is basically the starting of the game and all that stuff.
Yeah, this book I found easy to remember what's going on. Um, Specific like compartmentalized events and beginning, end, and okay, hey, there was that theme, there was those characters, then it moved on to this section. I found that real easy to keep track of. Um, Definitely a different kind of writing. I mean, yes, it is generic, but there's I don't know. There's an ease about it.
Oh yeah, it's a very easy read. You can
Um,
definitely tell it's for for as dark as it is, it's for definitely for a younger audience.
yeah,
At least the way it's written, which it's not a bad thing. Um, so I'll say it's like definitely easier than Sanderson, who is already pretty easy read.
yes, there's not as much that needs to you have to track with
Yeah,
this as there is with Sanderson.
yeah, it doesn't do as a whole lot of like long descriptions and stuff like that. Um, kind of just like tells you what's going on, and you're like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's good. I'm enjoying it. We do get uh like a scene of like the battle fleet. So get to see some spaceships, so that'll be cool. Hopefully we'll have like space combat at one point. That'll be fun. Because there's, I guess I didn't really state the goal is like basically I guess I kind of the resistance wants them to become an imperator and
Like a fleet.
like a fleet admiral basically. So then he can do something. I I don't know what it like. I don't know if the fleet's gonna turn against their like people or whatever. It's gonna be interesting. I guess if they don't know he's a red, he can be like, "All right, we're rising to power, rah!" and start a civil war or something, which will be fun. I don't know. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, I am too. Let's see. What? There was something else I was going to say. Oh, yeah, I like the history where it was like the smart people the smart people moved off of Earth and colonized the moon, and then they became the rich smart people and was like, hey, they basically became Republicans. It was like, hey, the Earth is mooching off of us. We're awesome, so let's colonize other planets.
Yeah,
Um,
it basically became
and
America.
subjugate the Earthlings because we're now lunars. We'll subjugate the Earthlings to do our bidding and everything. I was like, oh, okay, that's okay.
Yeah, I did
uh,
love it how they were when they were mentioning other societies. He threw in one that we didn't know about. Just be like, it was like Rome, like Athens, and I was like America, and I was like some. It was another one. I was like, oh okay. You were like, something happened after all that was established. That was kind of funny.
I do find the interesting. So, like the map that's at the beginning, that's the map of the institute grounds where we're having this
Yeah,
game. Uh, and just the fact that they're like, yeah, you know of these houses that are here, you know the locations of these other fortresses, but you don't know which houses are in them. I'm like, really?
yeah,
You couldn't just like, I mean, they have this magical map on the wall, right?
true. Yeah,
I mean, it's not like Rolf's magical map on his hand.
true. Not.
I haven't finished that part, but
You got
I,
to.
I know that exists.
Yeah, and it's an actual thing. Um, yeah, I will say the one thing I don't particularly like is just the color stuff. It's just kind of it could be more interesting or like just better done because just like yes, these are the people that are courtesans and these are the people. Like it's just a little simplistic. Um, like I think it would work better if it was like golds versus reds and you didn't have these weird like I don't know. We bred these people to be courtesans, and then we can. It's just it's fine, but it's just not my favorite thing. It's just a YA dystopian trip I don't particularly care for.
Yeah, perhaps it was done to make this series more accessible to younger readers
Yeah,
without like, they the way he describes the pinks and their um, roles in society isn't very detailed.
yeah,
But the older generations, um, or the older kids and adults that read the story are like, oh yeah, I know exactly what they're doing. But for younger ones, if they don't know that, if they don't get that, then they're like, okay, well they have another role in society that's um,
yeah. It's fine, but it's just one of the things. I'm like, I just kind of roll my eyes at it a little bit. Um, yeah, you got predictions?
um pretty sure Titus is gonna die.
Hopefully,
Uh, I do think I can see Antonia and Darrow um, becoming romantically involved potentially, even though he likes to say that she absolutely hates him. Um, but it's just kind of it's there in my mind that they can.
Could see that.
Um,
Little
I
hatred turned to lovers type thing.
yeah, enemies to lovers
Yeah.
trope. Um, but they're not necessarily enemies. They are on the same team to begin with.
Yeah, yeah, could see it.
Um, so not fully enemies become lovers trope. Um, I think Darrow does become a peerless scarred. Um, I don't think Mars wins the game for some reason. It just I feel like not everything is gonna go our protagonist's way.
Okay.
And so I have to think that he's going to be in a position, in the end, he's going to be in the position of a peerless guard, a potentially Primus, but his house doesn't win the game.
Okay. So do you think that like he graduates at the end of the book and like there's no more like book two, he's not in school. He's like a soldier or something. Or do you think
Yeah,
or do you think
I
like it's like the first semester for doing Harry Potter? Um,
um now I think this is I think this first book is the only um scenes of him actually in the institute as a student. I think he graduates and potentially we see more of the institute later, but not him as a student. Like maybe later on down the line, he becomes a proctor for things. And but that's like gonna be after he leads the rebellion to change society, and so now it's not just gonna be golds that are in the institute.
okay, cool. Yeah. Okay.
Any other specifics that you want me to
Uh,
predict?
you think any of our main dudes are gonna die? Like obviously not Darrow, but like Cassius or Antonia and Severo or Quinn. I think those are the only ones we got right now.
I can see Quinn dying and Cassius being this tragic character where everybody around him is dying. He loses his brother, he loses his girl. That allows him to connect, even though even though Darrow killed his brother, it allows him to connect in some weird perverse way because Darrow, the book starts off with him losing his dad and then he lost his wife.
Yeah.
So I can see a deeper relationship forming between them over loss of people in their lives.
Hmm.
So I don't think Cassius is gonna die. Quinn can die. Um, Not that I want her to die. I could see her dying. I could see Severo dying. Um, at this point, Severo might actually already be dead. I don't know. Um, I can go 50-50. It could be that surprise of, oh, Titus's two disgusting lackeys already found him and tortured him. Um, or, uh, he comes back and does something badass and then dies.
No comment on any of that. I don't remember a lot of the stuff. So. I mean, if I could spoil you, but that's it. All fun. I think that's it. I don't know. When do you think that the rebellion? What book you call it now, and I'll call. What book do you think the rebellion actually happens?
Um, without remembering the names of any of the books other than this,
There's like gold something and
there's Golden Sun. I can look at the back, but
yeah,
I think
Red
there's
Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, Iron Gold, and Dark Age. But
uh,
I
yeah,
know
those
there's still
other
next
two are the
are the
in the
other
second.
trilogies. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, this is my prediction. End of book one, he graduates. But that doesn't mean he already has his place in society. He'll have to work up the ranks. He works up the ranks in Golden Sun.
Okay.
In Morning Star, he has a fleet, and a lot of the members on the fleet are um, other colors than red. But he does have a cadre of other colors than gold. He does have a cadre of golds that he has recruited for the rebellion, though.
Okay. So rebellion happens in like book three, and then we have like the war, and then it ends in a way where another trilogy could happen. That makes sense. I could see it either being obviously it's not gonna be this book. Um, I could see it either being like in like the cliffhanger for book two of like starting the war, and then or like you said that him rising the ranks, getting the armies necessary for the rebellion, and like just having the rebellion be like all of book three. And then the second trilogy would be like after
There's actually four
war.
books in the second
Oh, okay.
story. Like the fourth one, so there's going to be seven at this point. The seventh book overall is coming out next year.
Oh, cool. Yeah. I could see second trilogy dealing with like the aftermath of the rebellion. Maybe maybe the war's still going on or something. But there's like, there's like the New Republic and the Empire still happening. See something like that happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know anything more on this
No,
reading.
that's pretty simple, straightforward. It
Okay.
was fun. It was fun though.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I'm gonna enjoy getting to the end of the book. There's been so many people that I talked to. My friend who makes our um, thumbnails for YouTube. This is one of his favorites. So when I told him about it, he was like, "Oh yeah." Um, so shout out to him. Thank you, sir, for your help. He actually has his own YouTube channel. Um, and he actually was talking to me about potentially reading some type of book that deals with fighting. So the subject would be something related to fighting, because his YouTube channel is like MMA, boxing stuff. Uh,
Nice.
but collaborating, coming on, discussing it with us, and posted on both of them. He's got a bigger subscriber list than us, so uh, still more exposure. So might do that at some point. But anyway, somebody else recommended when I told them that we were gonna be alternating books between this and another series. They had recommended uh, the just reading through the first three, then doing something else, and then coming back to the other four if we wanted to, alternate stuff. Just because the uh, first three are very coherent together. I'm up for whatever. I it might be a decision we make when we get to the end of this book if we want to
Yeah.
feel like we want to continue on with the story. But I think I'm okay either way, alternating between this, and then we'd have to decide on the other one. I keep
Yeah.
leaning towards the Licanius trilogy by
Okay.
James Islington, I think his name is, because that's a series neither one of us has read
Yeah, I never even heard
anymore.
of it.
Um,
Um,
I was
yeah.
told it was very good. It's a fantasy. I don't know what it's about, but
Okay. That's fun. Yeah, I'd be down to read something new. I guess it depends on how this ends. You know, if it ends on like a cliffhanger or something, then maybe we'll do it. I don't. This is such an easy read. I don't know if I'll get burned out by just going straight through like I did with Sanderson. Um, so
it's not as big and as many books either.
yeah, yeah, true. So well, I guess we'll talk about it. But it might be fun to read something that none of us have really even heard of that trilogy.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I think that's what we're gonna do. I mean, there's way more stuff. I
oh,
think it would be
there's
fun.
billions of books.
Yeah,
What is it called? Lycanius? How do you spell that?
Licanius,
Oh, yeah,
Licanius.
there we go. Lycanius billion. Oh, okay. I've seen the cover and was like, I've thought about buying that book a bunch of times, um, but I never did.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool. Well, whatever. Oh, I will say, I don't know how long it's gonna be up, but like YouTube has all of the Red Rising like audiobooks up there, so just type in like Red Rising audiobook. It's probably not gonna last that long, but if you don't want to, if you don't want to,
We don't we don't condone doing any illegal activities either.
it's on YouTube though. It's not illegal. Somebody else is. It's illegal for somebody else to do it. They're the ones that posted it.
They posted it,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So,
You should report illegal activity.
wink, wink.
Go make sure it's the right thing to report it if it's correct.
Exactly. It's a
Um,
little tip for the people that stayed this long.
yeah. Um, yeah, because there's other books like I told you, the Unhewn Throne. I read the first one called The Emperor's Blades. That was fun. I know there's like Raymond Feist is his Rift War saga. It's
Okay.
classic
Yeah.
fantasy, and I don't think you've read any of it, but I've read the
No.
first four. There's like 27
Oh,
books
wow.
in that universe. I've read the first four, and you would really enjoy them.
Okay.
Uh, just classic fantasy stuff. I read them a few years ago because somebody had brought it up, and I was like, "Hey, yeah, that's a classic." So, um, the story
Yeah.
of Pug, the
Okay.
magician.
I know Chris and Dustin have been getting into
Dungeon Crawler
Carl. Yeah.
Carl.
Yeah. Yeah. However you
Dungeon
say.
Crawler Carl.
Yeah. Yeah. And that tongue twister. Which that seems fun, and that would be like if we wanted to continue like with like an easy books, and then like a more involved one. That I think that one would probably be a really easy read.
Yeah, I've got the first audiobook and I'm starting to listen to it, and it's crazy. It's cool, but my ADHD was just all over the place.
I hear you.
But the guy does great voices and everything. So,
Mm. Yeah.
all right, well, um, yeah. So next episode we will be finishing Red Rising. At that point, we will decide whether we're going to start the next book in this series, or we read the first book in in the Lycanius trilogy. But we'll let you know at the end of that episode or the beginning of that episode because we might know by then. Because believe it or not, Justin and I talk outside of this podcast. So, um, this was a fun episode, fun book so far. I'm excited to see where the end of this book goes. Um, we don't forget we are sponsored Mudcat Whiskers. Visit their website mudcatwhiskers.com. Use code Paperweights at checkout and look for them at Louisiana Renaissance Festival and he's usually at the Acadiana Renaissance Festival that goes through January and like first weekend or two of February. Um, and so, yeah, he does some other festivals and everything. But with that, we will. Oh, don't forget to hit the like button, follow, subscribe, share this with your friends. Leave comments if you want. Don't spoil us, please, please, please. Don't spoil us. But leave comments and we can, you know, respond back. Thanks to the person that let me give this a shout out. Somebody actually was very nice um, on our last episode, The Willows, at Rebel with a cause 5307. Thank you for your condolences about my cat.
Oh.
Yeah. So thank you. If you comment and it's a nice comment, I will plug you here. So just like I did with Rebel with a Cause. So like, follow, subscribe, share, leave a rating or review. Um, share it with your friends and family over Thanksgiving. Be that don't be the annoying uncle that talks about politics.
Yeah.
Um,
Unless
be
it's
a
about the reds versus the golds and the pinks and stuff. You can
yes,
talk about fake politics all day long.
talk about fake politics, but be the cool person that talks about books annoyingly, um, because more people need to read, or
Mhm.
people need to read. Um,
Yes.
it's good. It's a good escape from screens and whatever and reality and crazy
Yeah.
things that bring you stress and all that stuff. So,
Yeah. Once you get good at it and find the genre you like, it's better than TV because you become instead of watching it, you become it.
yeah,
That's why
it
books are
empowers your
great.
brain for comprehension and uh, imagery.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, it's
Your
important
art,
stuff.
your artisticness, your artistry will improve in your brain. Now,
Mhm.
translating that to paper, you're going to have to build your dexterity, but uh, at least your brain is very creative. So,
Yeah.
all right, with that, we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.